Every time I hear someone say they don't have time to read, I can't help but feel a pang of disappointment. Books are treasures that offer endless knowledge and entertainment, yet in our digital age, they often collect dust as folks gravitate towards screens. Every now and then, a glimmer of hope shines through when a young person enthusiastically tells me they cherish reading. In those moments, I find myself tempted to offer them all of my work for free, but such encounters are few and far between. In my own childhood, books were the bedrock of my universe. Television was a rare indulgence in our home. As young kids, we didn't even own a TV, and when we finally did, it was a small black and white set with antennas that barely worked. We were allowed just 1 hour of children's programming after school, which included a favorite of mine, Jack and Ori, where enthralling stories were narrated daily. Apart from those few programs, books filled our lives. Our parents read to us, bought us books, exchanged books as gifts. Our home was overflowing with them. This environment cultivated a deep love for reading, and we all became avid readers, eager to share that joy with others. One thing that truly frustrates me is when I see parents who don't read to their children. Currently, I'm doing my best to encourage my 10-year-old granddaughter to read daily to her 7-month-old sister. I've even created a little summer diary for her to record the books she reads, rewarding her with $1 for each one. So far, she takes great pride in her reading achievements, though I sometimes worry if I will need to take out a second mortgage to keep this project funded. I hope that as her little sister listens to her big sister's stories, she too will develop a love for reading and writing. Reading and writing have been lifelong passions of mine, and will continue to be for as long as I can. They provide comfort, joy, and nourishment for my soul. I always have a couple of books on my bedside table and stacks piled throughout my home. Having published 7 or 8 books myself, I find the journey thrilling, and I still have many stories bubbling away in my mind. I jokingly refer to my love for writing as an addiction, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. Imagine my excitement when I came across an advertisement for an author fair taking place in beautiful Carmel by the Sea. The joy was palpable. I quickly applied for a space and was thrilled to secure the last entry for the event in Carmel Plaza. It was an incredible chance to connect with fellow authors, learn more about how they promote their works, and hopefully sell some copies of my own. Though I wished for more time to engage with other local authors, the atmosphere in the plaza was buzzing with activity. The competition was fierce for local books, so while sales were not guaranteed, engaging discussions about reading, writing, and publishing were plentiful. "Do you have any local stories?" inquired a visitor from out of town, curious about my work. I shared that I had indeed published local narratives, such as those depicting our community's experiences during the pandemic in Tomorrow Is Not Promised, as well as the charming animal tales from The Animals Teach Us Everything. She shook her head and said, "No, like John Steinbeck does. If only I could write stories with such skill." I chuckled good-naturedly, suggesting that perhaps I should leave it to the master since he captured it so exceptionally well. Apparently, she decided not to purchase a book after that. Another visitor asked, "How do you write a book?" I simply replied, "You just start." She seemed a bit taken aback by my response and chose to move on. A different attendee wanted a detailed roadmap of what to do after finishing a manuscript, asking for specific names and emails. I felt a surge of protectiveness over the hard-earned knowledge I had acquired through countless hours of effort. Instead of being brusque, I kindly suggested she explore resources from the Central Coast Writers Group, which is brimming with information, and the many self-publishing platforms available online. In a moment of reflection, I realized I hadn't even brought my first published work with me to the fair. It remains out as print, where it rightly belongs. I might revisit it someday if I find a few weeks to dedicate to a thorough revision and cull. I still have a couple of battered copies at home, but they aren't ready for public consumption. My initial effort to compile my published newspaper articles was woefully mishandled, resulting in quite the oversized fiasco, costing me far more than I ever earned back. It was a crushing experience and definitely dashed my goal of breaking even. Yet, the lessons learned from that painful chapter nudged me closer to honing my craft, and I believe everyone should embrace their missteps, as they ultimately strengthen our skills. I certainly haven't been without my own blunders, like the time I rushed through proofing a book that ended up with cringe-worthy blank pages circulating briefly. Sharing these experiences with fellow writers is tremendously rewarding. We all have our anecdotes of misadventures, yet we've persevered and are here to tell the tale. On that warm Saturday afternoon in Carmel Plaza, surrounded by playful dogs, curious visitors, and a vibrant atmosphere brimming with creativity, I felt truly honored to be part of this community. I recalled the days of attempting to publish my first work when I was blissfully unaware of the challenges ahead. A long time ago, yet it was only about 14 or 15 years. Being an author can feel isolating at times, so it's refreshing to connect with others who share a similar passion. As I embark on finalizing a children's book and have another project closely following, I hope to complete my first novel soon as well. Am I already considering the layout? Absolutely. Or as my mother would say, should I live so long? Because time is relentless. In the world of writing, we all understand that sense of urgency to finish that one brilliant piece sitting on our desks, something no one else can complete but us. So we can then proceed to tackle the next idea that keeps us awake at night. I will forever reside in the enchanting